Hey folks, it's Hamish here from Long and Winding, and today I have 10 tips to help you get the best possible deal on a mountain bike. So my channel Long and Winding is all about racing and riding mountain bikes here in Victoria, Australia. But I think the number one question I get asked here on YouTube and on Instagram is, what bike do I buy? So I thought I'd do a series of videos to help you folks, especially those of you who are new to the scene, choose the right bike for you. So let's roll the tape and get into the 10 tips. So my number one tip is demo bikes. So when importers receive their bikes from the manufacturers, what they want to do is promote those bikes. So they might supply bikes to media outlets for them to review, and they also hold demo days where the general public can attend and try out the new range. So once all that is done and dusted, the bikes are made available for sale, and that's where you come in, my friend. So this is your chance to pick up a mountain bike with only a few Ks on it at a pretty heavily discounted price. And usually they're still covered by the full factory warranty. Yeah. A brief intermission, if I might. It would be awesome if you could lovingly tap that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you're rating this video, why not hit the like button? That would really help me out. And it also means you might hear a little more from me in the future. I hope so. Tip 2. When a new model is launched, look at the old model. So when companies launch a new model, they go to town marketing and advertising the new model. And this pretty much wipes a ton of value off the existing model, which yesterday was cutting edge. And this is the perfect time for you to swoop in and look out for discounts on legacy models. I'm sure you will be able to pick up an awesome rig with much dollars off. And if you get one that's only a year old with only spec changes, and if you can get one that's only a year old and only has spec changes, then you have a bargain on your hands. Number 3, direct-to-consumer brand sales. So direct-to-consumer brands like Intense and Canyon represent awesome value as is. But what you may not know is that they often have a whole range of bikes that are heavily discounted. So for example, Canyon has a dedicated section of their site called Outlet where you can find discounted bikes year round. So there's the latest arrival section, which are bikes that have recently been added to the section, or there are used bikes which are still covered by Canyon's factory warranty. Canyon isn't the only brand with an outlet page. Intense and YT are just a couple of the others. I'm sure there's way more out there. So go dig around. All right, number 4, subscribe to e-newsletters. So this might seem like a pretty obvious one, but the best way to stay on top of sales and happenings from bike brands is to subscribe to their e-newsletters. Bike shops also often have e-newsletters that you can sign up to, and that's actually how I found out about my Jekyll. So I was lying in bed one morning and opened up an email from a bike shop, and there I saw the Jekyll, and it was a crazy 50% off from 6K to 3K. I would never have known that deal was out there if I hadn't have signed up to that bike shop's EDM. And I would have missed out on all the sweet gravity riding and jumping I've been doing lately. So sign up to the e-newsletters. Alrighty, number 5, Bike Exchange. So Bike Exchange is an online platform where pretty much anyone can post a bike for sale. So you've got bike shops posting new bikes and you've got the general public posting used bikes. Either way, this is another awesome resource for finding deals across all brands, which is actually really handy. Alright, number 6, the second-hand market. So if you're looking to buy second-hand, there are definitely deals to be had, but there are a few things you need to be aware of. Like if you buy second-hand, you generally don't get the manufacturer's warranty, and if something breaks, you are on your own. So if you do end up going and looking at the bike, give it a good old test ride, and also really carefully cast your eye over anything that kind of moves and rotates on the bike, like your hubs and your dropper posts and your headset, your brakes and your drivetrain, bottom bracket. Give everything a little bit of a jiggle and a shake. And if you hear any weird noises or you feel play where there shouldn't be, then that will probably be a bit of a red flag. So yeah, you can get really good deals, but you do need to be careful. Alrighty, number 7, look for the alloy version. So our industry is carbon crazy, but carbon comes at a cost. And many bike brands actually release an alloy version to a little less fanfare than their more glamorous carbon counterparts. However, their alloy versions often represent awesome value, being quite a bit cheaper than the carbon model, while still inheriting its DNA and often part spec. If you live for the descents, I would definitely consider it. If it's good enough for Amaury Pierron and Loic Bruni, I think it's probably good enough full stop. But if you're into XC racing where every gram counts, then it's worth knowing the alloy is a little bit heavier. Alrighty, number 8, don't get caught up in trends. So right now 29ers and mullet bikes are all the rage, but what about everything else? There are bikes out there that just are not in vogue right now, but are still amazing bikes. And these are the bikes you'll probably find most heavily discounted, even though they were probably considered cutting edge like 2 or 3 years ago. And I'm sure people were having just as much fun on those bikes back then. Alrighty, number 9, worldwide sales events like Black Friday. So this is a pretty obvious one, but these sales events give a limited window to get even more money off already discounted bikes. And this is where being signed up to all those EDMs really helps, because you get all the mega deals delivered straight to you. Number 10, build relationships. So it's awesome to make friends in the scene and the industry, and a happy byproduct of that is that you might end up hearing about a lot more deals than you otherwise would. Forming a strong relationship with your local bike shop is a really good example of that. If they know what you're after, then chances are you'll be the first they call when sales happen. And besides, it's good to just have a solid relationship with your local bike store. Hey, you made it to the end of the video, congratulations! Like I said at the start of the video, I usually do more kind of riding and trail orientated videos, but since Melbourne's just gone into 6 weeks of ISO COVID lockdown, it seems like the perfect time to kick off this series that will help you find yourself the perfect bike. So stay tuned, please subscribe and like, tell your mates, and I will see you soon for more tales from the trails. Ciao!